Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is definitely for my DIYers who use acrylic. I am reviewing 2 cheap acrylic nail kits, and I'm going to tell you why these are not a good option if you're doing your nails yourself, or if you're doing anyone else's nails for that matter. Okay, so I purchased both these kits off Amazon. I will not be leaving the links because I don't feel like these are good options. So the first kit, when I opened it, even before I opened it, I could smell the monomer. This kit does come with an instruction guide, and the instruction guide does say that it is an MMA-free monomer. So that's my first red flag. If you've been on my channel, you know that I do discuss MMA and monomers a lot. One of the telltale signs of a product having MMA is a strong odor, and it's a different odor than regular monomer. It's like a little bit more a little more stinky. Sometimes it could kind of smell fishy, and sometimes it could kind of smell sweet. So this definitely was more on the fishy side, and it was extremely strong even before I opened the box. So I'm just showing everything that is in the kit because, to be fair, I did want to give this kit and the other kit a full fair review. Here is the monomer. It does say it's an EMA, non-yellowing monomer. Yellowing is also another sign of MMA being in your monomer. You also get 3 half-ounce powders. You get clear, white, and then kind of a sheer pink. So this is everything that comes in the kit. And the first thing that I do, and I highly suggest anyone doing before they use a new monomer, is definitely do a soak-off test. That is the main way you can tell if the monomer has MMA characteristics. So if the monomer, if it's slow to soak off the acrylic or it's sticky, that is one of the main characteristics of a monomer having MMA. And we've talked before, like I said, if you've been on my channel, we've talked before about the dangers of MMA. Definitely in the nail liquid, it makes the nails too hard, which your whole entire nail can be ripped off all the way down to your nail bed, so it could rip off your nail plate. It's bad to breathe in. It could cause irritation. I mean, a lot of products can cause irritation, but why take the chance? So I'm just using the brush that comes in the kit, and I'm just going to build out a nail on this swatch stick, and then I will soak it off. This acrylic, this monomer is making the acrylic kind of dry pretty fast, which is another characteristic. So if you're working with a monomer and it's not a fast set monomer, then you don't have much time to work with the acrylic. And I know that could be beneficial if you are in a rush to do your nails, but you're risking losing your entire nail in doing so. I know that MMA is illegal to use in liquid form. However, the FDA doesn't test products or really regulate it, which is why you will see these products available for purchase. So it is something that's illegal, but it's not something that's regulated. But you definitely want to do your research. And like I said a few minutes ago, if you're purchasing a new monomer, the first thing that I do is a soak-off test. I already knew this was MMA when I purchased it, just because of how cheap it was. These kits that they put together, they're pretty enticing. It's like, oh, I can have everything I need to do a full set. But monomer isn't cheap per se. So when you're getting a monomer and a bunch of other items for about $20, chances are that is an MMA product. That's just in my experience. I'm not a professional shopper or anything like that, but just in my experience in trying different monomers, trying different brands, purchasing different acrylic kits, typically the cheaper ones are typically the monomers that have the MMA characteristics. And if you look online, one of the main red flags is the smell and is the soak off. So that's definitely something that is universal to determine if your product is an MMA product. I know that there has been some comments that I've seen on my channel as well as on other people's channels about MMA being in the powder. That is completely different than MMA being in liquid form. If you guys want a more in-depth video, I can do a little bit more research and come to you with a video on that, but definitely let me know in the comments down below. It is something that I have briefly researched, but I haven't really dug deep into it. However, everything that I've read has said that MMA in powder form in our acrylic powders is okay. And MMA in liquid form is not okay. So I am making sure that the product is dry. Now I'm going to soak it off with some acetone. And if you can see, the acrylic did yellow a little bit. So them saying that it's a non-yellowing monomer isn't really true. It didn't yellow a lot, but it did in the course of 10 minutes that I let the product dry. So I don't know if it would yellow more as time goes on. So I did leave it to soak off for about 10 minutes, and you can see that it is sticky and not much is coming off. That glossiness of the acrylic is an indicator that it's going to be a sticky soak off. Usually when it's EMA, it just fluffs up and you can just scrape it off pretty easily, especially if you let it soak for 10 minutes. So here's the second kit. So I did have this similar smell without even opening the box from the monomer, but this one wasn't as strong. And you know, when you're shopping, when I was shopping, I was like, oh, this is a pretty good kit. You get a lot of stuff. I think this kit was about $22 as well, and I did get it off Amazon. I was like, oh, you get a lot of stuff. Again, an indicator that possibly the monomers MMA. Also, I know these kits seem pretty enticing, but the products are pretty cheap and cheaply made. So like this nail file, this isn't even for acrylic. This is like more if you just wear your natural nails. There's no way you could really file acrylic with it. There are a couple good items in the kit that I will use, like the tweezers and the dotting tool. But overall, most of the products that come in these kits, yeah, it looks good because it's like a lot of stuff, but you get a lot of cheap stuff that you're just going to end up throwing in the trash. And then you're possibly getting a monomer that's dangerous for you to use. And, you know, everyone can do what they want. If you choose to use MMA, you don't think it's dangerous, that's completely fine. But I feel like it's my responsibility when I'm testing products and sharing stuff with you on my channel to be open and honest. And for me, I'd prefer not to take that chance on my nails. And if I just so happen to do someone else's nails, I wouldn't want to put them in danger either. Also, you can get sued. So if something were to happen and you're using a product that is illegal. So again, I did state that this is illegal for MMA to be in liquid. However, it's not tested or regulated by the FDA, which is why people get away with selling it. So everything that comes in the kit, I did show you. So I'm essentially going to do the same thing with this monomer that I did with before. And I was kind of staring at the two powders because they weren't labeled. So I was trying to figure out which one was white and which one was clear, which is kind of easy to do because white's a little bit more chalky. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with the last kit with doing the swatch and the soak off. But let me know, you know, do you guys typically purchase kits? Like for my DIYers that watch me that are doing acrylic, what monomer, what acrylic are you using? What do you find that's best to work with? Do you test your products for MMA, or is this even something that you think about? Because I know a lot of us don't even, a lot of people don't even think about it or don't care, but it definitely does make a difference in the application of your nail. It might seem like it's better because it dries faster, and typically it's not runny, but it's really not safe. And I actually used to work with a company, and they sent me a monomer. They said it wasn't MMA, and it was. I asked for the data safety sheet, and they sent it to me. And literally on that sheet, it did say that it had MMA in it. So I was just like, okay. So I know that in different countries it might not be illegal, but it is in 30 states in the United States. And I haven't seen that information updated, so I don't know if it's illegal in all 50 states. And I was looking for that, but for the most part, in the majority of the U.S., it is illegal. If anyone knows if that's been updated and they have a reputable source, definitely leave that information in the comments down below. Don't leave a link because YouTube will delete the link, but definitely just let me know where that information is, and I will update the comments with if it's 30 states or if it's all states now. Again, I didn't see anything updated. And in my book for school, I didn't see any information about the states either. So you can see this monomer isn't this monomer isn't making the acrylic runny. You can see that it's setting pretty fast, which again is an indicator. So you don't really have a lot of time to work. You don't have a lot of time to actually get the nail surface smooth. And then just to go back to the products being cheap, when you buy kits like this, I was just having a little bit of trouble getting the powder out of the brush, and I shouldn't have used my hands. I should have had gloves on, but you know. And you could see right here in the middle of the screen, you can see how when I did the swatches, how that monomer is just turning brown on the paper. So again, the yellowing, the stiffness of the product when it's still wet is indicators of MMA. So I'm just soaking it again in acetone, just like I did the one prior. And you're going to see that nothing really comes off. I did put this in for 10 minutes and then nothing really came off. So I put it in again for another 10 minutes. So 20 minutes I soaked this swatch and literally nothing came off. So both of these kits I would not recommend. I would not recommend buying these cheap acrylic kits off Amazon. I wouldn't recommend a lot of these companies that are overseas. And you can actually look up the sellers on Amazon. You can just Google their name and you can kind of see where they're from. I would not recommend purchasing monomer from these companies. So I did do a monomer one-on-one video, which I will link, but 3 of my favorite monomers are, one is Eden's Rose. It is a low odor monomer. My second favorite is Not Polish, which is also a low odor monomer. And my third favorite is Young Nails. It's a little bit of a stronger odor, but I enjoy working with all 3 of these brands. I will link my monomer one-on-one video so you can check those out. Also, I have discount codes for Not Polish and Eden's Rose. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And I will definitely see you guys back for another video. And as always, thank you so much for sharing your time with me.